Everybody, we're at the 12/4/2024, December 4th. Not very many shopping days till Christmas. Today is going to be your Saugus, California real estate update. I'm going to include the numbers from Santa Clarita Valley total, just so you have an idea what's occurring in the entire valley. But we're going to focus on Saugus today. Wanted to talk to you about some of the things that are going on there with regard to real estate, and also remind you, if you go to SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com, you can see my book there. You can also see that's how to buy real estate in 2025. That's the Santa Clarita specific edition, and it has been updated. There'll be an added vendor list soon, so you can see that. Also, of course, everybody should be able to get access to utility companies, especially when they're moving into Santa Clarita. That's something that you might want to ask the sellers for when you start the process to find out what the utility bills are. In addition, if they have solar on the property, that might be a little bit of a red flag depending on the company, because in some cases, those solar deals, the leases, don't transfer very easily from seller to new buyer. And there are a lot of things to look at with regard to that. So please understand, you have to get qualified for that. So if you're already tapped out in purchasing the residence and then you have to qualify for the solar, sometimes that's a deal killer. So please watch out for that as well. All right, so overall, Santa Clarita Valley, we have 26 new listings that have entered the market. 38 properties have had their prices changed. This is a huge number in comparison to months past. That's because as we get into the end of the year, sellers that are selling are very serious about selling, and buyers at this time are also very serious about buying. But right now, it seems we have more sellers than buyers active in the market. That will, of course, change next year. But then the other thing that's going to change in that context, sellers are going to have more competition when next year comes. So that's something to watch out for. So we have 25 properties that have gone active under contract. 10 properties have actually fallen out of escrow, gone back onto the actual for sale market. 25 pending, 45 closed, 11 expired, 9 canceled, 11 have been put on hold, none have withdrawn. So that's the total Santa Clarita market update. Then looking at Saugus, California, specifically, I was pulling the numbers this morning to give you an idea of what's currently happened. We have 81 properties that are on the market in Saugus, California, and that's going to include condominiums, townhomes, and single-family residences. In Saugus, also, I will tell you that those properties that have closed in the past 180 days are 255, but this last week, the properties that actually sold in Saugus were 5 properties that actually closed escrow. A majority of these properties are FHA and VA financing. So the veterans out there, FHA is offering 3.5% down. So if you're looking to purchase a residence, you don't have a massive down payment. That FHA loan program does help. Now, I had a client come to me yesterday talking about using their credit union to purchase a residence. And while that's all well and good, and I'm not trying to ever take business from anybody, it is in some cases, the unions are not as user-friendly as mortgage brokers. And also in some cases, it would be like using some automated real estate agent to purchase something. You'll have to send emails and you'll have to wait a couple of days to get a response versus actually using a real live agent. You can call me, you can text me, and I get back to clients if I'm not answering the phone at the time that they call. And the only reason why I'm not answering the phone when they call, I'm either sleeping or with another client. That's usually how real estate agents operate, especially in such a high competition market, because as you know, it's almost as bad as attorneys. No offense, attorneys. I was a cop a long time, but it's like everybody has their real estate license. Everybody's dabbling in it. Everybody believes, gee, it looks so easy. I'll just supplement my income and sell a few houses. Okay, you go ahead, you do that. But at the end of the day, you're going to see a difference in professional level between those people that are just playing with it and those people that are posting daily content like these videos, talking about the market, talking about the changes, talking about what buyers and sellers need to watch out for. In addition, you can get my book if you go to the website, SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com/book, or you'll see it there on the homepage. So that's what's happening in Saugus. As far as the price changes in Saugus, California as well, that's also a high number. What's happening is sellers, as we get towards the end of the year, are now entertaining potentially lowering their price to get more activity. Now, for the sellers out there that might think this is some kind of game or ploy, it actually isn't. What ends up happening is if your property is syndicated, if it's been listed for sale, the multiple listing service, typically the syndication then is the next step. So the syndication sites, the Zillows, the Trulias, the Redfins, the Movados, they're going to be pulling that information from the local multiple listing service, and then they're going to display your home for sale. Now, it's going to depend on what your agent's going to put into it. If your agent's going to pay for Matterport 3D virtual tour or other types of virtual tours, those are a dime a dozen as well. Then also you'll be seeing that if your agent takes that data, puts it into the system so the syndication sites can display it, and that's all good for you. It just gives your house more exposure. But usually people are searching in specific price ranges. So let's say you're $901,000, which would be an odd price to sell a house for. But if you're at 901, everybody searching at 900 or less is going to see your home, most likely. Now, some people, of course, they're going to go a little bit higher than they're actually qualified for, thinking they're going to be able to deal. That's not bad advice, but that is kind of a heartbreaker in some circumstances, especially when those sellers aren't willing to play ball. And the newer a property is on the market, usually the sellers are more reluctant to accept offers that are being offered less than their listing price, unless that listing price has been determined just by pulling something out of a hat or maybe having an agent convince you otherwise. Please, whenever you're looking at the comps and your agent's giving those to you, look at them and make determinations based on factual data, not stuff that they're hoping for. Especially if you're out there interviewing multiple agents, you want to see what their online presence looks like. And I understand review sites are great and they're wonderful and all these sorts of things. But once you sit down with them, a lot of times those review sites and the reviews that you're seeing don't actually match up. So then I tell my clients, what kind of review sites are you seeing them on? And they're actually on review sites that they're paying to be on. So if it's not a natural, organic review, Yelp you can pay, Realtor.com, some of those systems you can pay for extra exposure, Homes.com, believe it or not, Zillow, Trulia, agents get to pay those systems in order to be present. And now you have some of these people on Shark Tank and some of these other people, because they know agents are willing to pay it, they're building websites as well, like Dave Ramsey, saying that we have the best agents. Again, that's a pay-to-play system. I would rather be placed in the organic world so people actually see me, search for Connor with Honor or First Responder Realtor or whatever, and then they find me and they see me on the social media and able to develop or understand what I offer as far as my background, which is a lot different than a lot of people out there that are selling and trying to represent buyers and sellers, looking at this as just kind of a weekend endeavor or just a part-time job. It definitely is not. So let's move back to Saugus and then we'll close out the show. So understanding Mondays are Valencia update, Mondays, then Tuesday, Stevenson Ranch, Wednesday, where we are today, that's Saugus. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing Newhall. And then after we get to Canyon Country, which is Friday, Castaic Saturday, Acton, Aqua Dulce Sunday. But we always include a bit about Santa Clarita Valley. Now, with the credit union and that approval, we've seen that there are quite a few conventional loans that are also going through on the closed properties. Saugus, California, but FHA and V are very strong in this area as well. If you're buying a condominium or townhome, if that's what you have your eye on, then you want to make sure, find out if it's FHA approved or approved for a VA loan, if that's what you happen to be using. Because some of the complexes in Saugus and other cities in Santa Clarita Valley are not approved for those types of loans. And there's a lot of different reasons. Usually it has nothing to do with the books and how the solvency of the particular homeowners association is. That happened back in the last fall of the real estate cycle for a number of years after the bottom of the market, or when the first collapse happened. The bottom of the market was the end of 2011, beginning of 2012. Some of those properties weren't able to go FHA or VA financing because their records were in dire monies. They were taken from the HOA. Nobody had been paying because a lot of those properties had been foreclosed on by the banks. Now they're back. So if you're looking at these properties and you're not seeing online whether it's FHA or VA approved, your lender will know that. And in some cases, they can obtain what's called a spot approval. So if you see a place, your agent's telling you, well, it's not FHA approved, sorry. Well, back up just a little bit and ask your lender or even the agent. Say, well, if it's not approved, I was listening to Connor, he was mentioning a spot approval. Is that possible? The reason why some agents might steer away from that, maybe it's going to take extra time and maybe they're in a hurry. You should never be in a hurry unless the market indicates that, but never be in a hurry as a real estate agent if you're watching to get your commission. Be in a hurry because your client wants to be in a hurry, but don't be in a hurry for your client if it's going to create harm to them. So always watch out, always protect and serve your real estate client. They are number one. They're the reason why you're able to put clothes on your back and food in your mouth. I'm Connor with Honor, off the soapbox. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching the Daily Saugus California Real Estate Update. Be well, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day.